titles of the appendices are the list of generic, not elsewhere specified, proper shipping names, the list of names that go with the items. We saw in the table which talks about proper shipping name given to a particular substance which is being transported. First, we saw the UN number, and we came to the proper shipping name in that chapter, in that table. Then we talk about glossary of terms in class 1. What are the new words that are used? How are they arranged? Then alphabetical index. So the official IMO edition has been published in 2 volumes. Volume 1 contains part 1, 2, and 4 to 7. Volume 2 contains part 3 and the appendices A and B and the alphabetical index. There are also a supplementary or a supplement to the Imdg code which comprises the following publications. Emergency Response Procedure, that is the ERP. Emergency Response Procedures, they are written down as to when there is an emergency, how you should respond. Sometimes it has to do with fire. You need to contain the situation by calling in the fire service people who are always stationed at the airport when the plane touches down. If it has to do with diseases, we have to talk about, because they normally convey viruses and also airborne diseases. But in some corona, we have bacteria, convey biological substances and all those things. So when it comes to that, you have to, go to the appropriate authorities. Medical first and guide. So you have the medicals over there too. Then you also reporting procedures. How do you report? Then packing, cargo, transport units. For instance, the IMO, ILO, they all have their guidelines. Then how to safely use pesticide in ships. You have to spray some areas when you realize that there are some rodents or anything that are worrying you. How do you have to use it? They are all stipulated here. International code for the safe carriage of package, irradiated nuclear fuel, plutonium, and high-level radioactive waste on board ships. Then appendix, resolutions, and circulars. So these things are very, very important. Some time ago, I was teaching, I did mention to my students when we were at the airport, some time back, in the days of customs, that normally when you are in the air, traveling in the air, when you defecate, it has to go into a chamber so that when you land or the aircraft land, that is when it is pumped out into a septic tank, and the vehicle will take it to be disposed of. So normally they would treat the subject inside the aircraft so that it will not smell. So it has always been like that, because when you release the substance, which is the defecated material, into the air, can you imagine a situation where you are eating and something dropped into your food? It could be that defecated material had dropped from the air and landed in your bowl of fufu and light soup with goat meat. You may be thinking that is nothing and you will continue to be enjoying. but those who can recognize it may throw away the food. So it may not augur well. So normally they are brought to the landing base where they are pumped out. So on the fateful day, an aircraft came, they were pumping out the thing, and Atia, who happens to be the technical man on the scene or the attendant on the scene, was in his usual overall mood, and then he was supervising. Unfortunately, the locket where the pump hose was locked was directly overhead where Atia was standing. So the locket opened inadvertently and bathed Atia with the substance, the content. Atia never reported this thing to any authority. He just went for about some quarter of a petition. He said this is nothing. He took his bath and that was all. In a week's time, Atia died because the chemical that was used in processing or preserving the defecated material before it was being pumped out went through his pore spaces. If he had gone to the hospital, he could have been neutralized or be given some injection to ameliorate the effect of this, but this never happened. So that ended the life of Atia. So it's always very important to make sure that these accidents and incidences are actually reported to the rightful authorities. If it has to do with port health, if it has to do with fire, whatever it has to do with, you have to make sure that we get them across. Then dangerous goods list, we have the list in Imdg, that International Maritime Dangerous Goods, is divided into 20 columns. In the official International Maritime Organization publication, the columns 1 to 11 have been printed on the left page and the columns 12 to 18 on the right page. In these columns, you can find, after each UN number, the relevant provisions and information in text, numbers, and alphanumeric codes. We hereby end today's lecture for now, and in subsequent engagement, we'll be looking at the rules and regulations covering the road transport, which is ADR. Thank you.